Oh, hello, and thank you for joining me and my ladies' fingers for Veg with Lisa live. I am definitely Lisa. These are not veggies, but we'll get to that. And today I'm going to make Bhindi Masala. Now, that is a fancy foreign word and name. What it means is okra, or lady's fingers, as they're sometimes known. And masala simply means like a blend of spices. I'm going to call it an okra curry. So I'm going to show you my version of this classic Indian dish. But before I get started with my lady's fingers, please type in the comments. Let me know that you're here, that you can see me, and that you can hear me. And so my ladies and I aren't talking to ourselves. Hi, Diane. Thanks for joining us. Okay, this is one of my favorite non-veggies. Do you know why it's not a veg? Hi, Rob. Because it's actually technically classified as a fruit. Yes. Okra are basically the seed pod of a beautiful plant that is, I believe it's a member of the hibiscus family. Somebody fact check me on that. Hi, Susan, Rosa Sharon. They all kind of fall into that category. The plants get beautiful and tall, and then they get these gorgeous flowers. Now, if it's a green okra plant, the flower is yellow, and if it's a red okra plant, the flower is pink. And they do indeed look like hibiscus, and they're absolutely stunning. So this is a seed pod from those flowers. But I digress. Let's get to cooking. So let me show you. I love okra. I pretty much love okra in any of its forms. And now that I live down here in the southern part of the US, hi, cousin Mildred. Oh my gosh. Mildred, were your ears burning? We were just talking about our trip over to see you. Mildred, I wonder if you have these in Wales. My guess might be no, because I don't know if it gets hot enough where you grow. But you tell me if you've got okra, or lady's fingers, you may call them in Wales. Anyway, this is a staple in Southern cooking, Caribbean cooking, Asian cooking, Indian cooking, Sri Lankan cooking, all of those things, Mediterranean cooking. This grows widely in those climates, and I absolutely love it. This is one of my favorite ways to make it, and I'm going to show you. It's just a little, kind of like a Indian stir fry, if you will, if you're not familiar. Before I show you what I'm going to do with the okra. Oh, I know Mildred says no such luck with the okra in Wales. I didn't think so. With a lot of Indian cooking, they do what they call temper the spices. And I'm going to do that before I show you what to do with my ladies, with my own ladies' fingers. Whole cumin in the skillet, which I've got on the heat already. And I'm using some olive oil. I'm pretty much exclusively using avocado oil. I'm pretty much exclusively using avocado or olive oil these days for my cooking. I know the whole oil conversation is really confusing, but that's why I like to keep it simple. Hi, Lori. I think you like okra. How do you like to cook your okra? Okay, when possible, smaller is probably better for some of these. And I know there's a lot of brouhaha about okra being slimy, and so don't cut it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know. I'm not bothered by that. And this is just going to be like in a saucy curry, so I don't really think it matters. But if you are one of those people, and I know some people have textural issues, you can do lots of different things to prevent that. You can trim the caps like this. I was on a Turkish cruise one time in the Mediterranean, and the captain, Ramazan, he was also the chef. Every morning he would get up and he would peel pounds of okras like that. So he didn't cut them, but that's up to you. In this recipe, I am simply slicing off those caps, and then I'm chopping them in pieces about this size. Okay, I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to set that aside. And in the meantime, did you hear that? My cumin seeds are sizzling. And that's what is often done in Indian cooking. In hot oil, you put your whole seeds until they pop and they get so fragrant. And then you add the rest of your aromatics, which is just a fancy French word for things that smell good when you cook them. So the aromatics that are going in this pot are pretty typical: onion, garlic, ginger, and green chili. Now, I'm using a jalapeno green chili pepper because, well, I'm not in India and our tastes tend to be a little more wimpy. Rob doesn't like things super spicy. I'll show you how to kick it up a notch. If you have like a Thai green chili or another hot chili, you can definitely use that. Okay, I'm going to toss this in to my whole cumin seeds, which are, oh, it smells so good. They're so fragrant and Ah, yum, yum, yum. Okay, now what else? Gonna just let this cook for a couple of minutes and then I'm gonna add some tomatoes. Now you can use fresh tomatoes if you want, if you've got them coming out your ears in your garden. I do not have a lot of big tomatoes right now, so I just opened a can because I figure why waste? Ah! Why waste the beautiful? Oh, can you hear that? Seriously, that's so cool. Ah, and if you did use a big can of tomatoes like I did, you might want to kind of mush them down a little bit. There, can you see that? That's better than looking at my empty cutting board. You can kind of mush them down. Fresh tomatoes work perfect as well. So I've just stirred all that in there. I'm going to let it cook, and then I'm going to add some more amazing spices. It's one of the things I love about Indian, Sri Lankan cooking is their prolific use of spices. This is ground coriander, so cilantro, gone to seed, ground. This is turmeric. This is paprika. Again, normally you would probably use a hotter chili powder, but this recipe was thankfully tempered down for our wimpy American taste. Again, I'll show you how to kick it up a notch at the end. Paprika is simply a milder pepper ground up. And this, what is this? Garam masala, which is simply a mix of a whole bunch of spices, probably some of these, and ground together. You can easily make your own or you can buy it ready to go. So I'm just going to toss in all of those beautiful spices. The color's so pretty. And add a little bit of water. So I'm pretty much making a stew right now. And there are lots of different ways to make curries. Some people prefer a wet curry. I do. Some people prefer a dry curry, in which case you probably wouldn't use this much water. Okay, now you may be wondering, where's the okra? This is supposed to be Bhindi masala. Where's the Bhindi, Missy? Well, I'm going to show you because I have already cooked it. So I probably should have told you that ahead of time. What you do in this particular recipe is you cook your okra ahead of time. So I showed you how to chop it. Hi, Scott. Oh my gosh, good to see you. I showed you how to chop it. I cooked mine in the air fryer because I have one. You don't need an air fryer to do this. You can roast it in the oven. I think that's what Lori does. You can saute it in the skillet, set it aside, make your curry, your saucy, spicy stuff. And then, and I would cook these tomatoes in a little bit more before I added all this. Actually, you know what? I've already got, oh, no, that's raw. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to put those in and let them cook. You could probably do that too. You know what? As Rob says, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so I've already got one that I made ahead of time. I'm going to swap this out for that. Let me make sure I don't destroy anyone or anything in the process. These cast iron skillets, man, it's like a weight workout. Make sure you get your strength training in, especially you ladies. Okay, so look at this. Isn't it beautiful? This is one that I made ahead of time. You can see I let the tomatoes cook down. Then I tossed in the okra that I had already cooked just a little bit, not a ton. And I like it a little bit al dente with a little bit of a bite to it. And again, yeah, perfect. I'm not bothered by that okra goo. It doesn't bother me one bit. This needs a little bit of salt. I probably would have put some salt in with my aromatics had I not been talking. Oh gosh, this is just an aside. Isn't this cool? This is a head of garlic I got at the farmer's market. By the way, I got all these local vegetables at the River Arts District Farmers Market and the West Asheville Tailgate Market here in Asheville. We have amazing farmers markets. This was from one of the farmers. Look at this. Isn't this cool? Locally grown garlic. That's what my friend Emily would do. Okay, anyway, so I added just a little bit of salt to that, which it needed. Before I get to testing this for you properly, I want to tell you just a little bit about the health benefits of garlic, or not garlic. I did that last week. I put my tea towel on the hot burner. That's very silly of me. I wanted to tell you just a little bit about the health benefits of okra. There are numerous health benefits to chewing on a head of garlic too. But okra is super, super nutritious. It is not one of the common veg, maybe, unless you live in the South or in one of those regions, but it's got a really great source of vitamin K. It has a good amount of protein for a veg. It's got 2 grams of protein per 1 cup serving of raw, which cooks down to like nothing. So you can see it will really magnify and compound. It also is a really good source of fiber. Let me see. There was one other thing. Oh, vitamin C. It's a really good source of vitamin C. Yeah. Remember, we need a variety of plants for a healthy gut microbiome. I'm doing some research right now. I've got a client with Parkinson's disease, and there is some really interesting, relatively new science that is suggesting a correlation between a healthy gut and a disease like Parkinson's. We know gut microbiome is super, super important for physical and mental health. Anyway, so just a plug for eating a wide variety of plants. You have to have plants to get the fiber to create a healthy gut microbiome. You don't have to be vegan if you don't want to, but you got to eat your plants. Okay, let me show you how I'm going to finish this off. Maybe I should put you back down here. Now, the real Indian recipe called for something called dried mango powder, which I didn't have, and I'm sure you can find it in an Indian grocery store. But they said a squeeze of citrus, lemon, or lime would do just as well. Sorry, guys, I'm probably making you seasick. Okay, that's going to have to do. Rice or quinoa. My Bhindi masala, yummers. And if you like it saucier, you could add more tomatoes, a little tomato paste, a little more liquid. That would be perfectly fine. And then, since I didn't have the mango powder, I'm going to add a squeeze of fresh lime. And the original recipe called for cilantro, which they did not have at my market today. So I'm going to just add some sprouts for a little bit of fresh greenery. Now, the secret sauce, if you like it spicier, this is absolutely my favorite product. I cannot live without it. Yes, Sabrina is my friend. I don't care. I would recommend it heartily anyway. Chili crisp or chili oil. So I made it a little bit more mild because Rob's not super crazy about super spicy stuff. I happen to like it hot. So I'm going to add a little bit of this chili oil, chili crisp, just to kick it up a notch. So you do you. Bhindi masala. Oh, all those spices. So tasty. So thank you for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. Go out and get you some ladies' fingers and make some masala. See you next time.